skilled trades are in high demand, with most manufacturers in dire need of qualified workers across the United States. An aging workforce and the lack of new tradesmen to backfill have contributed to this shortage long before the pandemic. This shortage results in longer hours for the current workforce to meet the gap, leading to burnout and lower morale. It also means higher costs for manufacturers, required reduction in hiring standards, and ultimately, lower revenues. In fact, a study by Michigan State University forecasts the global manufacturing labor shortage to be 8 million people by 2030, with a potential revenue loss of over $600 billion. We're joined by John Thompson, a well-versed machinist and engineer, who will share his insight on the ways 3D printing can be used by shops around the country to address the skilled labor shortage.
JBM Technologies is a machine tool distributor, and we also apply technologies and service at a level that's above our competition. We've been in business for approximately 40 years. We have one of the most robust supply chains that we manage, and we bring the highest value to our customers. I've been in machining for about 20 years now. Through the machine trades, you're obviously familiar with all sorts of aspects of industry. Well, adding additive manufacturing to my abilities about 10 years ago, I've seen a level of gains that could not be replicated elsewhere. The skilled labor is obviously an issue. One of the most intimidating aspects of additive manufacturing is what will it take to do? Most people are intimidated that with this type of technology will need an extremely high level of skill set that's costly or disruptive to their company. That's not necessarily the case. Typically, this technology is substantially easier to integrate into your factory than, say, adding a new CNC machine. The different types of things that I've used industrially for this would be large-scale work holding, CMM-type fixturing, and incredibly complex shapes. With this technology, instead of having the entire setup process of CNC machines and the skilled labor involved, once the design is completed, you apply it through a very simplified software. You have typically your program in a matter of minutes instead of hours, and the machine will produce the object for you. The biggest trade-off with this is the amount of legwork, intellect, training, and overhead for a machined fixture from materials like such as steel and aluminum is tremendous. For this, it is a fraction of the cost. So when JBM Technologies was trying to identify what additive manufacturing we wanted to bring in, the obvious choice was Juggerbot 3D. Now, that was after scouring the globe of all available technologies. And what we found was there were many that had the size, but none that had the robustness, the quality, and actual industrial capability that these units provide. When you open these things up, you see real products that you will recognize from your CNC factory. So behind me is the P344. This machine is the state-of-the-art fused granular fabrication machine from Juggerbot 3D. So we have the console right here. Machinists will appreciate it's running G-code programming. Coming this way, we have industrial controls, we have the signal lights that people are familiar with. And then when you actually look into the machine itself, we have a fully robust table. So then finally coming around here, the air drying system is also one of the key aspects of this equipment. No one is operating with a dryer quite like this that's literally spec'd out for what you're going to do. Machine tools have a limitation of access for features, the type of tooling that exists, and things of that nature, whereas 3D printing does not. So you can make things like curved holes and ventilation ports through a product that you could never machine interior cavities and things like that. So if you need to really truly create a sophisticated product, you can use machining in addition to this technology to create literally impossible parts. Something like this could be considered small to medium for this machine. This is a carbon fiber reinforced nylon material. It is extremely strong and robust, and this prints easily on the P344 machine. You can have a shape like this cranked out of this machine in a matter of hours. Whenever you have this type of technology, you're no longer limited by tooling or things like that to create a shape. If it's a three-dimensional shape, you can create it. This type of technology can really scale up your capability. So not only can you do real materials handling, you can replace broken parts in your factory. You can make custom ducting out of chemical resistant material. You can use all sorts of aids that would otherwise require sheet metal, custom machining, where to create these types of shapes would not previously be possible. It's literally been a game changer for me. So there's no secret that lean manufacturing and driving down cost and turnaround and switchover is critical. So this is the technology that allows that to happen.